Zena here. Today we're going to be talking about responsible behaviors. Why are responsible behaviors important when you're around others? Go ahead, think about that for a second. Why are responsible behaviors important when you're around others? Teachers, you can pause the video here and have a little discussion about what the students are showing are their responses to that question. I do want to see a little pre-assessment here. If you feel like you understand what responsible behaviors are or not so sure what they mean. And that sideways also shows that I think I know a little bit, but I'm not sure I know everything. So some responsible behaviors that are important when interacting with others are things like sharing, things like kind words, listening, eye contact. Those things are also important things like cooperation, listening to directions, following directions, respecting the space of others that we have talked about, personal boundaries, and manners, please and thank you. All of those are examples of responsible behaviors that we can practice when we're around other people. Does that help? They're all things that you know, but just that question itself of being able to put that into words is a helpful thing. So those responsible behaviors, there's a lot of them. We're going to work on practicing those, and I want you to pause the video after every scenario today and have a chance to actually talk about the ideas that you have of how you could interact in each of these scenarios with your classmates. We're going to also be doing some exercise. So what I need you to do is I need you to first get some kind of stuffed animal, some stuffy, or something that you could interact with to pretend or act out the scenarios that we're going to be doing today. So go ahead and pause the video and go find a stuffed animal, or if you need to, you could draw a little person on a piece of paper, or use your hand if you don't have anything else. All right, welcome back. I have my Walter the whale here, and he's going to be helping us in our scenarios today. So the first scenario that I want you to act out is going to be Walter here, or your friend there, are working with a friend, which is you, to build a block tower together. What kinds of words or things could they show to each other to show that their behaviors are responsible? So we mentioned some examples at the beginning. So I want you to think about what those examples are and how could you show positive behavior with one another while working together to build a tower made out of blocks. Go ahead and pause this video here. Welcome back. I hope that you shared some ideas of, Walter, do you want to play blocks with me? Being welcoming, right? Helping somebody feel included. Another thing you could have said is, let's take turns. How high or how do you want to build our tower? Communication with one another is a respectful behavior. If Walter has an idea, listening. Let me hear your ideas. Well, I would love to have all the green blocks. Oh, you want the green ones? Great. Can I have the red ones? Sure. So they're working together. They're cooperating in what they want to do while building their towers. Perhaps they use eye contact while they're listening. And they say, please and thank you. Thank you for letting me have those green blocks, right? So these are all examples of different things that you could have talked about how these two could work together to build those towers together. And not be upset of, hey, I was going to build towers. No, I was, but rather working together. All right, now you're going to take your friends and you are going to do some exercises with your friend. So you are going to hold your friend in one hand and you're going to do some jumping jacks and you're going to switch what hand your friend is in. We're going to do 10 of these. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Now, let's go on to the next scenario. The next scenario is taking turns. So you need to take turns throwing a ball. We have one ball and we have one target, and you both need to participate. Hi, Walter. Hi. I get to be your partner today. Yeah. So we have to throw a ball at that target over there. Go ahead and pause. Let the students fill in the rest. See how they would interact with each other with that scenario. All right, welcome back. I hope you talked with each other about how to take turns. Deciding who gets to go first is always the biggest hurdle when you're trying to take turns. But saying you can take a turn and then I'll get it back is a common saying that I've heard from a famous TV show, Daniel Tiger. You can take a turn and then I'll get it back. So if somebody grabs a toy that you really want, letting them know, can I have a turn when you're done, is really helpful. Or if somebody says, can I play with that? You can say, you can take a turn and then I'd like it back. So you know that you get to play with it too. Sometimes setting a timer is really helpful when taking turns, so each person knows exactly when it's their turn and when somebody else's turn is going to be over. So you can come up with unique ideas, and I'm sure you did. Rock, paper, scissors is always a fun way to kind of determine who gets to go first without no one having the priority. It's kind of a matter of luck. All right, we're going to exercise with our friend again. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to go in between our legs. You're going to try to pass your friend through your legs, one hand in front, one hand behind. So you're going to try to do what we call a little figure 8. We're going to try to do this and count to 10. See if you can get that rhythm down. You're putting one hand in front and then you put it behind. You're just alternating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you go faster? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Our next scenario is helping out. So maybe something happened to your friend and you want to show responsible behavior by helping them out in some way. So teachers, go ahead and pause the video and let everybody talk out how they would help their friend out. Welcome back. Walter here was having a really hard time hitting a baseball off of a tee. And so I offered to help him out. And what I did was I went over and told him a couple things that I thought might be helpful. But I first said, Walter, would you like if I tried to give you some help? And he said, yes, I really don't know how to do this. And then we talked through some different things that would be helpful to see if he could be more successful. You, I'm sure, talked about lots of different things about how you can help somebody out and thinking about those responsible behaviors, using manners, being kind, eye contact, listening. Because if I went up to Walter and I said, hey, Walter, do you want some help with that? And he says, no, I don't want help. Then I know I need to give Walter some space because he's trying to figure this out on his own. And that is okay. And the more power to him. There are some people that want help. Some people just want to try to figure it out themselves. All right. We're going to talk through our next scenario here. Our next scenario. Did we exercise? We didn't exercise. All right. We are going to set our friend on top of our head. And we are going to try to walk back and forth from our two spots, one over here, without dropping our friend. And the added challenge at the end is to try to get your friend to fall off your head and catch it before it hits the ground. So see if you can walk faster and faster without it falling off your head. Depending on what your friend is, it might fall really easily. If it falls, just try to catch it. And then come back and jump. Let it fly through the air and see if you can catch it. Hey! Whew! And if you didn't, you can try again. All right, let's try our next scenario. You are seeing a friend that's really upset, and you want to see what's going on. You don't know what's going on. You just see they're crying and they're upset. So what responsible behaviors could you show for that friend? Go ahead and pause the video. All right, welcome back. So you talked about ways that you can, with responsible behaviors, support somebody who seems upset. So you could just recognize by saying, I see you're really upset right now. Would you like somebody to talk to? Do you need some space right now? Is there anything I can do to be helpful? Sometimes just being quiet and listening. Or just sitting next to them and making them feel like they have somebody who's by them, even though they don't even want to say anything. Sometimes just somebody else being there can feel really helpful. All right. We are going to go through one more exercise with our friend. So in this exercise, we are going to lunge, and we are going to try to lunge and pass it through our legs on each lunge. So lunge, turn around, lunge with the other foot, and pass through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, our last scenario we're going to talk about is spacing with others. So personal boundaries, which we have talked about prior to this. Personal boundaries are the space that you feel comfortable in when you're around other people. And it can be very different depending on who that other person is. So this is your friend. You don't know their personal boundaries and they don't know yours. But how could you communicate with one another to help each other know? Go ahead and pause. Have a class discussion. Welcome back. So when I talk with somebody about their personal space, sometimes it may, I may just ask, do you mind if I come sit next to you? Is it okay if I talk to you right here, or do you want to go somewhere else? Or I like to ask the question of, do you need some space right now? Would you like me to hold your hand while we cross the street? Not, you need to stay close to me. So depending on who you're interacting with, if it's a friend, just those simple questions of, do you need some space? Would you like me to come over to you right now? Do you want me to help you get there? Can be helpful questions because you might not know what they're feeling they need. All right, friends, you have a friend. I want you to think of any exercise that you like to do and see if you can do it with your friend. Are you ready? Get set. Go. All right, in our closure today, I want to know if you can explain why responsible behaviors are important when you're interacting with other people. And do you know how to use them to solve problems? If you feel like you can, give me a thumbs up. If you feel like I'm getting there, but I'm still not quite sure, or here, and we have no idea, or here. I think you all are doing a fantastic job of practicing those responsible behaviors. It takes some work, but you're getting there. The biggest thing is trying. Have a great rest of your day. Good to see you as always.